If you listen to episode 9, this is the follow through. Not new panic, not new hype, follow through. Episode 9 was control hardening. Episode 10 is what happens when those controls hit real handoffs. Human to human, human to system, system back to human at 6:07 in the morning when nobody wants surprises. And look, I wish I could tell you handoffs are always clean. I cannot. I really cannot. I have absolutely handed something off with "we're good" energy and zero written owner. That is not strategy. That is vibes plus caffeine. Today is 2 signals. 1 internal, 1 external. Then 1 45-minute block you can actually run this week. Welcome to AI Change Desk. AI news you can use and change management you can execute. I'm Michael Hanna-Boutros-Meyering. Quick disclosure before we start. AI-assisted tools were used in parts of the research and production workflow. Final editorial judgment, risk posture, and release approval stayed human-led. Boundary note. This is operational guidance, not legal advice. These are my opinions and are not representative of any organization. This is AI Change Desk. Thank you for choosing to tune in. All right, story 1. AWS published operational guidance for agentic AI with a stakeholder model. And the reason I care about this is simple. This is not written like, cool demo, good luck everybody. It is written like deployment is a cross-functional operating contract. Business owner, security owner, compliance owner, engineering owner, named people, named decisions, named trade-offs. For listeners who have been here every week, this is a big continuity moment. Episode 5 told us access is the risk once systems can act. Episode 7 told us workflow security needs named ownership. Episode 8 told us validation has to happen before scale. Episode 9 said harden the control plane. This week adds the missing glue. Handoff discipline. Who owns what when the workflow moves? 3 operator implications. First, capability is not the approval signal. Accountability is. If nobody owns pass-fail thresholds and stop authority, you do not have a controlled rollout. You have a hopeful rollout. And hopeful is not a control state, unfortunately. Second, workflow class matters more than app class. This app is approved is too coarse now. Same interface can draft, route, click, and trigger downstream action. Those are not the same risk class. Treating them the same is how we get drift. Third, handoffs are where most real failures live. Not dramatic model explosions, not robot apocalypse, just boring handoff misses. Wrong reviewer, late escalation, unclear rollback owner. And by Friday afternoon, everybody is smart, tired, and pointing at each other in very polite language. Which, to be fair, I have done. I have said we all agreed on this and then discovered we meant 3 different things. So yeah, this one is personal. Story 2. YouTube expanded likeness detection protections for civic leaders and journalists. Different domain, same control lesson. Once AI touches public communication, identity integrity becomes an operator problem, not just a platform problem. If your team publishes externally, there are now 2 risks to manage: what your systems produce, and what bad actors can convincingly fake around your brand, your spokespeople, or your partners. So no, this is not only a social media issue. This is governance plus trust operations. And yeah, that can sound heavy, but the fix is actually simple. Ownership. 3 practical moves. 1. Detection without routing is incomplete. A tool can flag something, great, but who triages it? Who validates it? Who decides the pause outbound comms? Who posts the correction, and where? If those names are not pre-assigned, time to response gets ugly fast. 2. Public response language needs pre-approval. In an impersonation event, drafting statements from scratch under pressure is rough. Have one approved response frame ready. What happened? What is verified? What action is taken? When next update lands? 3. Trust operations are cross-functional by default. Comms alone cannot carry it. Security alone cannot carry it. Policy alone cannot carry it. This is shared execution. And shared execution still needs a single decision owner at each step. Quick supporting pulse, 30 seconds. Anthropic announced Sydney as its fourth APAC office. Signal here is regional complexity keeps rising. Controls that only work in one region, one policy context, or one vendor lane are not durable. If your operating model depends on the same assumptions everywhere, well, you are more optimistic than me. So here is the move for this week. 145-minute handoff and trust sweep. Minute 0 to 8. Pick top 2 AI workflows with high impact or external-facing output. Not 20 workflows. 2. Be honest about where risk is real. Minute 8 to 18. For each workflow, assign 4 names. Approver, pause owner, rollback owner, public response owner. Minute 18 to 28. Define one hard gate. No owner, no launch. If owner field is blank, it does not ship. No exceptions hidden in chat. Minute 28 to 38. Run a quick impersonation tabletop. Fake artifact appears. Who validates authenticity? Who pauses outbound publication? Who updates internal stakeholders? Who logs evidence and closure? Minute 38 to 45. Ship one plain language operator memo. What changed? What is approved? What is restricted? Who approves exceptions? Next review dates. Put that memo where requests actually happen. If your team lives in Slack, put it there. If your team lives in tickets, pin it there. The memo has to live in the workflow, not in a folder called final_final_v2. And yes, I have one of those folders too. I wish I didn't, but I do. Actually, I have more than one. Not proud of that. Quick anti-pattern check before we close. If any one of these is true this week, fix one by Friday. Approved app with no action tier detail, no named pause owner by shift. Detection tooling exists, but no incident routing owner. Final output is logged, but action chain is not reconstructible. You do not need perfect maturity this week. You need fewer blind spots than last week. That is real progress. And if you've listened since episode 1, here is the compounding view. We are no longer building a policy stack. We are building a weekly operating system. Signals come in, ownership gets assigned. Decisions are logged, then we move. Controlled speed beats unmanaged speed. Still true. Maybe more true now. Listener question. Where is your bigger gap right now? Threshold quality? Or ownership clarity at the handoff? This is AI Change Desk. Until next time. This is AI Change Desk. See you next time.